We are currently witnessing the downfall of McDonald's. People have stopped coming into the store and their sales are now collapsing. With McDonald's most recent earnings report reporting a big drop in customer traffic and their first year-over-year same-store sales decline since 2020, when the pandemic hit and everyone was locked inside. That's how bad things are getting at McDonald's right now. And the principal problem is the fact that the menu prices have just gone up way too much. They've gone out of control. At restaurants like this one here in Florida, Big Mac meals cost as much as $10 now. And the result, according to McDonald's CEO, is that low-income customers have stopped coming into the store. The customer traffic was down approximately 5% year over year, which is really, really bad, everyone. It signifies that McDonald's is mired in a deep recession. And this is potentially one that they're not gonna recover from, everybody, because for the longest time, McDonald's and other fast food restaurants had offered value to their customers. You could go in there and buy a meal for $4, $5, $6, but you can no longer do that. And the result is that the entire fast food industry is now in a recession, because it's not just McDonald's, it's also KFC, it's Taco Bell, it's Pizza Hut, it's Wendy's. All of these fast food restaurants are reporting year-over-year sales declines. And in this video, I'm gonna show you just how bad things are getting here at McDonald's and how much worse it's gonna get and why we could be seeing the end of McDonald's as we know it. We could be seeing this franchise now heading for a long-term decline, which I think a lot of you might actually be happy to see. This company does not serve the healthiest food, and now they're charging crazy prices for that food. But first, I wanna talk about what this signals about the overall economy, everyone. Because these fast food restaurants losing sales year over year, I mean, that's something that doesn't happen in a good economy. That's something that happens during a recession. That's something that happens in a bad economy. And this is particularly true for lower income consumers, everyone. This is something that McDonald's CEO continually stressed in their most recent earnings call, and something you need to pay attention to. It's the income segment making from around $45,000 to $60,000 that McDonald's CEO is identifying as having real issues now affording their food, no longer coming into the store. And it's that lower income segment that's getting hit really hard right now by inflation and by the beginning stages of a labor market recession, where the unemployment rate has gone up from 3.7% to 4.1%. Unfortunately, it's the people on the lower end of the income ladder that are feeling it most. And those are the people who would go to McDonald's or Wendy's or Pizza Hut or KFC more frequently. And so I view this as further evidence that we are in some type of recession here in America right now. It might not be a widespread recession at this point, but it's certainly affecting kind of the lower income segments of society, with consumer sentiment, everyone, being at the lowest level that we've seen in the last 60 to 70 years. The University of Michigan, every month, they call Americans, they email Americans, and they give them a survey asking them how they feel about their finances and the future of the economy. And right now, the sentiment is close to the lowest it's been all time. It's an index level of 66 as of July 2024. We can see the only other times in US history where consumer sentiment has been this low was the inflation in the middle of 2022, the 2008 housing crash, the early 90s Gulf War recession, the 1980 double dip recession, and the 1973 inflation recession. Those are the only other 5 times Americans have felt this bad about the economy, this bad about how high prices and inflation are. And of course, that's now translating into squeezed budgets for households. That's now translating into a reduction in consumer spending at restaurants. We are in a restaurant recession right now, everybody. The big restaurants are having problems, but also the small mom and pop restaurants are having problems because it just is too expensive to dine out and eat right now. I mean, you go to McDonald's, you spend $10 on a Big Mac meal. But even if you go to a nicer restaurant like a Cheesecake Factory, I mean, you can't walk out of there spending less than 40 or 50 bucks, especially if you get a drink. In Cheesecake Factory, that was another restaurant that's also having issues. They reported a 1% year-over-year decline in same-store sales as well to start 2024, which again is super rare, everyone. I know 1% drop in sales doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a lot considering that these restaurants have continued to increase prices. It means that their customer traffic is plummeting and way fewer people are going into these restaurants and spending money because it's just cheaper now to eat at home. And to be clear, it's not affordable to eat at home, but the inflation rate for food at home, going to the grocery store, eating at home, is now down to 1% year over year, according to the official government statistics. 1% year over year inflation for food at home compared to 4% for food away from home. So the fast food restaurants, the full service restaurants, they're still increasing prices in the middle of 2024, in the summer of 2024, when Americans' budgets just have no more room for these higher prices. The savings rate, everyone, the savings rate as we now walk around kind of a residential neighborhood next to this McDonald's. I'm going to go back to that McDonald's in a second and show you guys some really interesting things that McDonald's is now trying to do to get customers back. But first, we're now in a residential neighborhood. And one interesting thing, as I switch to the housing market for a second, is that the homes for sale are skyrocketing. And this is like another leading indicator kind of a recession, everyone, right? We see fewer people go to McDonald's and spending money. Conversely, we see way more houses for sale. I'm here in St. Petersburg, Florida. This is an area that's getting absolutely walloped by inventory and for sale signs right now. You can see a lot of these houses are small. These are like 3-bed, 1.5 bath homes that were built, I don't know, maybe in the 70s. These are houses that maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, they might have been worth $100,000. Then in this housing bubble, some of these sellers want $400,000 now for these houses. And, they're not going to get it because the inventory has exploded. The number of homes for sale is now the highest level in 10 years. And you ask yourself the question, like, why is that? Why are so many people selling? Well, it's because a lot of people are running out of money. A lot of people, bought houses at the peak, can no longer afford the mortgages. Maybe they got laid off. Maybe they just took on too much debt. Got another for sale sign right here. This one's under contract. We'll see if it closes. But people took out too much debt. And now the economy's tilting down. Now the unemployment rate's going up. So what do you do in that situation? Well, you got to sell the house. And you can see data on Reventure app is showing that the inventory in this zip code here in St. Petersburg, oh boy, whew, folks, it's doubled or tripled over the last year and a half. When you see the inventory go up like this, like a hockey stick in your area, I mean, that's a sign that there's a housing market downturn playing out. There could also be a local economic recession that's forcing people to sell. Make sure to track the inventory data for your city and zip code. This is going to tell you a lot about where the future of your economy and housing market is heading. You could track that data on Reventure app. At the end of this video, I'll tell you how to do that in more detail. Another for sale sign. So folks, 3 for sale signs in literally half a block. That's just another indicator of where this economy here is heading, especially in Florida. But now we're back at McDonald's, everyone, and I want to address the point I was making before about how people don't have money anymore in America. The savings rate, it's a minuscule 3.4%. People are only saving 3.4% of their income on average, one of the lowest levels of all time, indicating people don't have the extra money to go dine out at McDonald's. Now, here's what McDonald's is doing in response. Their CEO just came out and announced a new initiative. They actually announced it a month or two ago. They're now doing a $5 value meal. And I'm curious what you guys think about this $5 value meal. You can see it advertised over here. They're actually calling it a meal deal. Basically, here's what you get. $5, you could pick 4. So you can get a McDouble or a filet of fish mixed with either a small drink, fries, or nuggets. Apparently, select markets will offer this as a $6 McDouble meal deal only. So this is McDonald's solution. They know that it's too expensive. Their CEO knows that they have to regain the illusion of affordability to attract customers back in with the $5 meal deal. They've been doing it for about a month. We don't exactly know yet how it's working out. But what I thought was super interesting, everyone, was what McDonald's CEO said in their most recent earnings call about the meal deal and why they're doing it. Because clearly, McDonald's isn't making any money on that. The franchise owner here, whoever owns this McDonald's, it's not McDonald's corporate most likely, it's someone who's a franchisee. They're losing money on the $5 meal deal, right? Because the economics of how much food and labor costs, you need to charge more than $5. However, here's what McDonald's CEO said. He said that thus far, The average check size for those who buy the meal deal is $10. So they're kind of using this as a tactic to just get people in the door. And I guess when people come back and they buy the $5 meal deal, they then just spend more money, maybe that they don't have. And that's the tactic that McDonald's is using that they think is going to revive their business and prevent them from having a downfall, which to me is like really amusing, everyone, because it's like, this is their business model. Do a loss leader advertisement, $5 meal deal, get people to come back because the customer traffic had collapsed, people are staying at home, get them to come back, and then they'll spend more money that they don't have on more unhealthy food. That's essentially the business model of McDonald's and these other fast food restaurants. And I personally wonder, like, is this like a business model that's just going to die in the long run? Because I feel like there is a structural shift going on where people want to eat healthier. Maybe not everyone, but I think a lot of people want to eat healthier. A lot of people want to lose weight. You see all these weight loss drugs. Like, I feel like McDonald's is on the way out, everyone, unless they can figure out how to offer some healthier options at slightly more affordable price points. Like, this could be the Stone Ages as far as how people dine. I mean, of course, you can see there's some cars here in the parking lot or on a main busy street, but I'm just not seeing the value proposition of McDonald's right now. I think the downfall is happening, and I think their CEO is really out of touch. Because beyond his comment about the $5 meal deal being a loss leader to get people to spend actually like $10 when they come in, he also made another comment about how they're introducing a new sandwich, everyone. They're introducing a new sandwich called the Double Arch. And this sandwich is a double beef patty with a whole bunch of sauce, 1,100 calories, 36% more calories than the Big Mac. And McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczynski says that there's unmet demand for a larger sandwich in the US and other markets, and that they want to offer customers value with this larger sandwich that's 1,100 calories and has 96% of your daily value of fat. And so this is their other tactic to try to bring customers back. Introduce an even bigger burger with 1,100 calories. Somehow that's going to bring people back in as well. I don't know. They're debuting that in Europe right now. We'll see how that goes. All right, everyone. I went in there and I got the $5 meal deal. Just want to show you guys what you're missing here. So we got a small drink as part of the $5 meal deal. And then that's the food. 4-piece nuggets, small fries, McDouble. I'm gonna be honest, for $5, in terms of like caloric content, that is a pretty good deal. Again, there's no way they're making money on that. And this McDonald's actually was super interesting, everyone, that I just went into, that I filmed in front of. It's one of these McDonald's where like you don't interact with a human. So like you order on the kiosk and then they don't bring the food to you. They don't even like announce that the food's there. Like eventually just, they put it up on a shelf. I sat there for like 15 minutes. I didn't even know the food was there. And then eventually looked up and I'm like, oh, there it is. And then additionally, you look for straws and napkins. They don't have any place you can get straws and napkins. You have to go ask behind the counter where no one is for straws and napkins. So this maybe is another reason why people are no longer going to McDonald's. No human interaction, no straws and napkins. You don't even know if your food's ready. Oh yeah, and in this McDonald's, by the way, there's a sign that says, no loitering, please keep your eating time to less than 30 minutes. And so, you know, not that a lot of people went to McDonald's for like the experience, but the experience of going to McDonald's has actually gotten worse, if you could believe it or not, if you go in the store. So, folks, I think this is all kind of, you know, pointing to McDonald's is going to have a tough go of it. I think for the next couple quarters, next couple years, we'll track their future earnings reports to see if this $5 meal deal brings some customers back. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think about McDonald's in the comment section below. Do you go there? Do you think McDonald's company is going to go downhill? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I'll try to respond to some of them. Until next time, this is Nick from Reventure Consulting, signing off.